Welcome back, everybody, to the Chupacabra's Lair, and today we're going to be taking a brief little look at Project Christine, a proof-of-concept modular design from Razer that was recently released at CES a couple days ago. And
looks beautiful, looks expensive, just like, Razer does.
I mean, so
beautiful, meh.
To give an overview of what Project Christine is, as you're looking at this footage, Project Christine is this sort of pie-in-the-sky modular design for a PC from Razer, where you just plug stuff into their proprietary plugs, so that it's just you plug one of these tubular chunkets in and go. My main issue with modular is the whole goal behind a modular design means that it's very inexpensive to upgrade a computer, and it's very inexpensive in general just to have this computer and do stuff with it. But then we see that it's from Razer, which inexpensive is not how I think anyone would ever describe anything Razer make.
Did you see the fucking laptop they came out with not less than average parts? Or sorry, less than par parts.
I didn't, but I mean, let's just put this out there. My computer is modular. Unless you buy a fucking iMac or one of those MacBook Airs, your shit is modular. You can go buy parts from just about anybody as long as it's compatible with the plugs in your motherboard, and you can just go.
Or it could fit in your case.
Exactly. I mean,
yeah, and the thing is that they keep saying how it's going to make it easy for people who aren't exactly into tech to, get whatever parts they want into a computer, and they don't have to worry about doing all this stuff and all the work by themselves. But with the price point that this thing's probably going to have, it's such a small target group of people for a product line.
And
people who can afford it, they're not going to give a fuck.
We don't necessarily know what they're going to price this at, because this is just a proof of concept. They're basically saying, who wants this in their house? And one guy was just like, me. Get out of here, Frank, you bastard. Not everyone wants to buy a Camaro and put a computer in it, you dick.
I did see the CEO said that they could potentially make a subscription plan for it, so you would pay X dollars a month and always get the best little modules for your new Christine PC.
And that was
ridiculous.
That was another one of my problems with it, is just if I'm paying you this much fucking money, how long am I getting support for this device? Because I don't want to buy this cool new state-of-the-art technology only for them to discontinue the whole project 6 months later for lack of interest.
I mean, the way I see it is it's pretty much the tower. The tower connects all the CPU, the RAM, the GPU. That's the main thing you have to buy. And from there on, it's whatever you want. So you can assume imagine the tower as being the motherboard. The problem being standards change. When in 2014, this year, they're going to have DDR4 memory. So will this tower be prepared for that, or will I have to buy a whole new tower for DDR4?
And you also don't know what manufacturers are going to make what for the things. You don't know if the newest graphics card is going to be supported, and if it is, how long it's going to take for Razer to roll it out in their special exclusive little casing.
I mean, that's the thing, though. You don't know. You don't have a choice. It's whatever graphics card companies they pick. It's through their little slot thing, so you don't have a choice on what card company you want. Say you want NVIDIA, they pick AMD. Say you want AMD, they pick fucking NVIDIA. Say you want Intel, they pick AMD. So you want Corsair RAM, they pick Kingston. Shit like that. It's their choice on what they want in there.
My main thing is also for that compatibility, if you're going to put two fucking graphics cards in something, you want crossfire support. But I don't necessarily know that their proprietary plugs do that. The problem with proprietary plugs is that they don't play nice with a lot of shit.
Or you can lose electrical power.
The other thing that I was, thinking about is if PCs break, parts break, if you have a problem, what are you gonna do to get it fixed? You're gonna probably have to send it to Razer and let them do all their shit and get your computer back in 3 or 4 weeks, as opposed to cracking it open, taking out the
What's up with their liquid cooling? Because as far as I can tell, that liquid cooling doesn't go into any of those little components, because they've got SSDs, and 3 very large. I'm sure there's a, like, you know, NVIDIA Titans in those little fucking blips out the back. If the liquid's not flowing into the components, or doesn't have the ability to flow into the components, why have that giant-ass reservoir just flowing through the stem?
They actually, all of them are liquid cooled. They use mineral oil, and you see, if you look on the connection part of the little modules, they have 2 little circles. They're like self-seating seals, basically. So all of them will be liquid cooled, which is neat, but it's going to make it that much more expensive.
Right. The way I see it as, like, they have each, you know, one of their, you know, things plugged into the tower, and I'm sure with those circles you were talking about are probably, like, you know, with any, you know, water cooling pump, they just have like the little pump plugs, like with graphics cards that have water cooling. So I'm guessing the pumps in the reservoir are somewhere inside that thin little tower, and that this handles the heat dispersion. I just want to know where the exhaust is, though.
So I mean, at this stage, wrapping this up, we kind of like the idea of a modular PC, especially because you don't have to fuck with like screws and opening up your case and all this shit. I have 2 main points. Modular, the whole idea is it needs to be cheap. Otherwise, people don't give a shit. The second, it needs to not look like a prop from the original Halo back in 2001.
Yeah, overall, I think it's a good idea. I just think, obviously, it's going to be super expensive with the Razer, and like you said, that's not the ideal way to go about something like this. They need to make it more accessible for more people, which means it needs to have a lower price point. But, I mean, it's a good idea, and we'll see if they can make anything out of it.
I mean, I'll probably give them like a 5 out of 10 just for like, the mindset is in the right place, but the price point is not going to appeal to most gamers, because I don't want, I mean, it's nice to have a Camaro of a PC, but the goal of a gamer isn't to have this beautiful PC just staring in the corner. It's to play more game.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather have a freaking Origin PC with the freaking Xbox 360 extra in there and still be able to customize that than have this thing I have to go through Razer every single time I want a part. Always, no matter what I want, I have to go to Razer, which isn't modular.
Alright guys, well, thanks for joining us today. This has been the Chupacabra Lab review from Cryptid Industries and all that shenanigans. Like and subscribe for more, and we'll catch you next time.